Let's move on now. In an Australian first, Uber will deliver 10,000 free rides for vaccination appointments for people to get to and from for people living with a disability and also their carers. It is part of a joint partnership with the disability service provider, Able Australia. Let's give you some more details on this program. Joining us live is Chandi, Pfieke, the National Director of Engagement at Able Australia. Appreciate your time. Firstly, let's just start on where things are at in terms of people getting vaccinated in the sector. What proportion of people with disabilities under your care have now received at least one jab?
Look, across our sector, we'd probably say that it's still quite low. In Victoria, we're looking better, and I'm speaking from Victoria, and obviously we're just coming out of lockdown. So there's been an added sense of urgency to get our people with disability vaccinated, and it's really pleasing to know that most of our residents have either been now vaccinated or will be vaccinated within the coming weeks. I guess it's a bit concerning. There's still a bit of a lag with our operations in Tasmania. We're not seeing that there's not that sense of urgency that we have seen here in Victoria. So I unfortunately can't say that the uptake has been, we're not at 50% yet. I think we've still got a long way to go.
Right, so that's not at 50% in Tasmania, sorry? You're talking about Australia-wide in terms of...
Australia-wide, correct, for our organisation, yes.
Right, okay. So still more than half of people then yet to get the jab. What about carers, the people working for you? Is there a strong uptake among them?
Again, it's probably a similar story in that what you're seeing is that it varies from state to state. So obviously we're seeing a greater uptake within Victoria, and we are then perhaps in some of the other states, particularly Tasmania.
There has been a lot of discussion about the need to incentivise people to get vaccinated to make the process as easy as possible. I mentioned the partnership with Uber, which sounds like a great initiative, taking people to and from vaccination sites. Are you looking at any other incentives for your workers, like giving them paid time off work to go and get the vaccination or be able to stay home afterwards if they suffer any standard vaccination side effects? I mean, what can companies like yours do to get those rates up?
Yeah, look, we're all options are on the table. There's none that we wouldn't consider if we think that will help to boost the vaccination take up within our communities. But as I say, I think that this last outbreak has added a sense of urgency across the sector, which unfortunately, in some ways, is unfortunate that this is what it's taken. But I think that we're all starting to move in the right direction, and I think this initiative with Uber is a great one that will be just another bow in our arsenal to try and get more people vaccinated.
There's been a debate as well about making it mandatory for aged care workers, but also disability carers to have the vaccination to be able to go to work. What's your view on that? What's the company's view? Should it be compulsory?
Look, I think that it's we strongly encourage, obviously, our workforce to get vaccinated, because we do know that the people that we support are, very, very vulnerable in the face of COVID. But we really do need to follow government advice, and at the moment that's not mandatory for this sector. So that is absolutely the lead that we're following.
Last time we spoke a few weeks ago, I know you expressed a bit of disappointment at the lack of clear communication from the federal government, from health authorities over plans for the rollout of vaccination in the disability care sector. You mentioned that there is that sense of urgency in Victoria now, which is great. Are you finding that as part of that, the communication lines really have opened up and essentially the authorities have been given a kick up the pants that perhaps is well needed?
Look, to some degree, I think that there's a lot more people being very vocal now, which is probably great. So there's probably more voices, and they are being quite vocal. Look, it's wonderful to see that there's lots of other initiatives coming through. For example, seeing the disability vaccination hubs that are being established around the country. There are all manner of new initiatives that are being developed to help support the disability community get access to the COVID vaccine.